You know that moment when you're lying in bed at 2 a.m., replaying a conversation in your head, thinking, why did I say it like that? Why couldn't I just express what I was feeling?
Oh, we've all been there. That crushing weight in your chest when the words just won't come out right.
Here's something nobody tells you about learning English, or any language, really. The hardest part isn't memorizing vocabulary or mastering grammar rules. It's finding the courage to say three simple words. I feel.
And that's exactly what stops most people from truly connecting. They know 1,000 words, but they can't express a single emotion.
So, today we're doing something different. We're going to get uncomfortable. We're going to get real. And by the end of this episode, you'll understand why talking about feelings isn't just about language.
It's about being human.
I'm Maya,
I'm John.
and this is English Speaking Nerds, where we break down the language you actually need, not the English your textbook thinks you should learn.
Before we dive deep, and trust me, we're going deep today, hit that subscribe button. We're building something special here. And honestly, we can't do it without you. Every subscription tells us you want more real, unfiltered English conversations.
And drop a comment telling us, what's one emotion you struggle to express in English? We read every single one. Seriously, every comment matters to us because your stories help shape what we talk about in future episodes.
All right, Maya, let's start with the question everyone's too afraid to ask. Why are feelings so hard to talk about?
Because we've been taught to hide them. Think about it. When you were growing up, how many times did someone tell you, stop crying, don't be angry, or you're overreacting?
Every single day.
Exactly. We're trained from childhood to suppress emotions, not express them. And when you add a second language into the mix, it becomes 10 times harder. You're already nervous about getting the grammar right, pronouncing words correctly, and suddenly you also have to be emotionally vulnerable?
It's like trying to swim while learning to breathe underwater. Everything feels overwhelming.
You know what's interesting? Research shows that people are actually more honest about their feelings in a second language. There's this psychological distance that makes it easier to say, I'm hurt in English than in your native tongue.
That's fascinating. It's like the words don't carry the same emotional weight. They're not connected to your childhood memories, your family dynamics, or your cultural conditioning.
Right. But here's the paradox. That same distance makes us feel less authentic, like we're acting instead of being. We're playing a character who speaks English rather than being ourselves in English.
And that disconnect is what we need to bridge.
Which is why today matters. We're going to bridge that gap. We're going to make expressing feelings in English feel natural, powerful, and completely yours. Not borrowed, not translated, yours.
Let's break down something fundamental that even advanced English speakers get wrong. The difference between I am and I feel.
This is huge. And most textbooks completely mess this up. They treat them as interchangeable when they're actually completely different.
So here's the truth. I am describes your identity. It's who you are at your core. I am an anxious person. I am optimistic. I am shy.
These are traits. They're consistent. They define you over time. When you say, I am sad, you're declaring that sadness is part of your personality, your character, your very being.
But I feel is temporary. It's a snapshot of this exact moment. I feel anxious right now. I feel optimistic about tomorrow. I feel shy at this party.
And here's why this matters. When you say, I am sad, you're telling yourself that sadness is permanent. It's part of your identity. But when you say, I feel sad, you're acknowledging that this emotion is passing through you. It's visiting, not staying.
That's powerful. That's actually therapeutic. Psychologists teach this distinction to their clients because language literally shapes how we experience emotions.
Language shapes reality, John. The words we choose literally rewire our brains. There are studies showing that how we label emotions affects how long they last and how intensely we feel them.
Okay, so let's practice this right now. I want you listening to try something. Out loud if you can. Say, I am stressed.
Notice how heavy that feels? Like you're carrying a permanent burden? Like stress is now part of your identity?
Now say, I feel stressed right now.
Feel the difference? There's space there. There's room for change. There's a recognition that this feeling has a beginning and it will have an end.
This isn't just grammar. This is emotional intelligence through language. This is using English as a tool for mental health.
And once you understand this, you can apply it to any emotion. I am angry versus I feel angry. I am lonely versus I feel lonely. One traps you, the other frees you. Let's talk about the feelings that don't make it into textbooks. The messy, complicated, uncomfortable ones.
You mean like that weird emptiness after finishing a really good TV series?
Yes. Or that specific anxiety you get when someone says, we need to talk.
Or when you send a message and immediately regret it? That physical cringe that shoots through your body? That moment where you want to reach through the screen and unsend it?
Or the strange guilt you feel when you're happy while others around you are struggling. Like, you don't deserve to feel good.
Or that Sunday evening dread, when you know the weekend is ending and Monday is coming?
These are real emotions, and they don't have simple one-word labels. So what do?
We get creative. We combine words. We paint pictures.
Exactly. Instead of searching for the perfect vocabulary word, describe the feeling. I have this sinking feeling in my stomach. My chest feels tight. I can't sit still. It's like a cloud hanging over me.
Your body is a dictionary. It tells you what you're feeling before your brain catches up. Sometimes your shoulders tense before you realize you're stressed. Your jaw clenches before you acknowledge you're angry.
Let me share something personal. Last month, I had a conversation with my mom. She's getting older, and there was this moment when I looked at her and realized time is passing. And I felt this overwhelming rush of, what? Sadness? Love? Fear?
All of them at once?
Exactly. So I told her, Mom, I feel grateful and scared at the same time. Grateful for right now, scared that it won't last forever.
And I bet she understood exactly what you meant.
She did, because I didn't try to find the perfect word. I just expressed what was happening inside me. And you know what? She said she felt the same way. That moment of honesty brought us closer than years of small talk.
This is what we mean by authentic communication. You don't need advanced vocabulary. You need courage. You need to be willing to sound imperfect while being emotionally honest.
And sometimes the most powerful statements are the simplest ones. I'm scared. I need help. I'm proud of myself. These three-word sentences can change everything. Here's something that drives me crazy. The way different cultures handle emotions.
Oh, this is a minefield. And English learners get caught in the middle.
In some cultures, expressing happiness openly is seen as boastful.
In others, showing sadness is considered weak. And when you're learning English, especially American English, you're suddenly expected to be cheerful and enthusiastic about everything.
How are you? I'm great, amazing, fantastic.
Even when you're dying inside, even when you just had the worst day of your life.
Right. And this creates this weird performance where nobody's actually communicating. We're all just reading scripts. We're all pretending everything is fine when it's not.
I grew up in a culture where you never complained. You never said you were struggling. That was seen as weak, as negative, as ungrateful.
And I grew up being told to always smile, always be positive, never bring others down with your problems.
So let's break that. Let's talk about what real emotional honesty sounds like.
When someone asks, "How are you?" and you're not okay, you don't have to lie. You can say, "Honestly, I'm struggling today. I've been better. I'm working through some stuff."
And here's the beautiful part. People respect honesty. They connect with vulnerability. When you admit you're not perfect, you give others permission to be imperfect too.
I remember the first time I answered honestly in a professional setting. Someone asked how I was, and instead of saying fine, I said, "I'm a bit overwhelmed, actually. This project is challenging me."
What happened?
They opened up too. Suddenly, we were having a real conversation instead of exchanging pleasantries. We became colleagues who trusted each other instead of strangers pretending everything was perfect. And you know what? We ended up collaborating better because we could be honest about our struggles.
That's the power of emotional honesty. It gives others permission to be human too. It breaks down walls and builds real relationships.
And in English-speaking cultures, especially in professional or international environments, this kind of authentic vulnerability is actually valued more than you might think.
Let's get practical. Maya, what are the emotion words that English speakers actually use every day?
Not the ones in your textbook, that's for sure. Nobody walks around saying, "I'm melancholic" or "I'm exuberant."
Real people use simple, powerful words, and they modify them. They add context and intensity.
Exactly. Listen to these. I'm kind of anxious. I'm pretty excited. I'm sort of disappointed. I'm really frustrated.
Those modifiers, kind of, pretty, sort of, really, they add nuance. They show the intensity of the feeling without needing fancy vocabulary.
And they make you sound natural. Compare these two sentences. I am extremely jubilant about the forthcoming occasion.
Nobody talks like that. You sound like a robot, or like you swallowed a thesaurus.
Now listen to this. I'm so excited about this weekend.
That's real. That's how humans communicate. Natural, flowing, conversational.
Here's a list of emotions that will cover 90% of your daily conversations. Happy, sad, tired, excited, nervous, frustrated, proud, grateful, overwhelmed, and peaceful.
10 words. That's it. 10 basic words that you probably already know.
10 words can express the entire human experience if you combine them with honest body language and tone. Add I'm or I'm not in front of those, and you've got infinite combinations.
Speaking of tone, this is crucial. The same words can mean completely different things depending on how you say them.
Try this. Say, I'm fine, like you actually mean it.
I'm fine.
Now say it like you're definitely not fine.
I'm fine.
Every English speaker knows that second one means, don't ask me any more questions. I don't want to talk about it.
Tone carries more information than words. Your voice is telling the truth even when your vocabulary is lying. The pitch, the speed, the emphasis, they all reveal what you're really feeling.
And native speakers pick up on this instantly. So don't worry so much about choosing the perfect word. Focus on being genuine. Your tone will communicate what your vocabulary can't. Let's talk about the conversations that scare us most. The ones that start with, I need to tell you something.
Oh, we're going there?
We have to, because these are the moments where language matters most. When you need to say, I'm hurt by what you said, I'm worried about our friendship, I'm proud of you, I love you.
These sentences are terrifying in any language, but in a second language, they feel impossible.
Because they make us vulnerable. They expose who we really are underneath all the performance. There's no hiding behind formality or politeness.
But here's what I've learned. The fear before saying these things is always worse than the actual saying of them.
Always. And you know what? Even if you say it imperfectly, with broken grammar and the wrong tense, the other person will still understand.
Because emotions transcend language. We're all human. We all know what it feels like to be hurt, scared, or loved. The feeling is universal, even if the words aren't perfect.
Let me tell you about a conversation I had with a friend. We'd been growing apart, and I could feel the distance. For weeks, I rehearsed what I would say. I wrote out perfect sentences, I practiced the vocabulary, I even recorded myself speaking.
And then what happened?
When we finally sat down, everything I'd prepared flew out the window. I just looked at her and said, I miss you. I miss us. And I don't know what happened, but I want to fix it.
Broken grammar, simple words, but completely from the heart.
Completely real. And she started crying, and we talked for 3 hours and rebuilt our friendship. None of my fancy vocabulary would have done that. It was the honesty that mattered.
Because you didn't hide behind fancy vocabulary. You just showed up as yourself, vulnerable, imperfect, real.
That's the lesson. Authenticity beats accuracy every single time. People remember how you made them feel, not whether you use the past perfect tense correctly.
And in those important moments, people are listening to your heart, not your grammar.
Let's talk about something most language courses never mention: physical sensations of emotions. This is so important. English speakers describe feelings through body sensations all the time. It's one of the most natural ways we talk about emotions.
My heart dropped. My stomach is in knots. I have butterflies. A lump in my throat. My blood is boiling. These phrases are everywhere, and they're powerful because they're universal. Everyone knows what a tight chest or a racing heart feels like, regardless of what language they speak. When I'm anxious, I feel it in my hands first. They get cold and tingly. So I might say, I'm so nervous, my hands are freezing.
When I'm excited, I get this energy that makes me want to move. I'll say, I'm so excited I can't sit still, or I'm jumping out of my skin with excitement.
And when I'm disappointed, there's this actual heaviness. I feel like I'm carrying a weight, or my heart sank when I heard the news. These aren't metaphors. These are literal descriptions of what emotions do to your body. Scientists have actually mapped where different emotions show up physically. Anger heats up your chest and hands. Sadness creates heaviness in your limbs. Anxiety tightens your throat and stomach. And they work in any conversation because everyone has felt them. You're speaking a language that goes deeper than words. You're speaking the language of human experience.
So, if you're struggling to name an emotion, describe where you feel it in your body. My shoulders are tense. My chest feels tight. I have this pit in my stomach. People will understand immediately what emotion you're experiencing.
Here's something nobody prepares you for: feeling multiple emotions simultaneously.
The emotional cocktail. The messy reality of being human.
Yes! Like when you get a promotion but have to leave a team you love. You're excited and sad at the same time.
Or when you're proud of a friend's success, but also jealous. Those aren't opposite emotions canceling each other out.
They're both real. They both exist in the same moment. And it's okay. It doesn't make you a bad person or a hypocrite.
In English, we have a perfect phrase for this. I have mixed feelings.
But you can be more specific. I'm happy for you, but I'm also going to miss you. I'm excited about this opportunity, but I'm scared of failing.
The word but is your friend here. It acknowledges both truths without diminishing either.
And you know what? Admitting you have conflicting emotions makes you sound more mature, not more confused. It shows emotional intelligence and self-awareness.
Because emotionally intelligent people understand that feelings are complex. Life isn't black and white. We can love someone and be frustrated with them. We can be grateful for what we have and still want more.
My dad retired last year, and when I called to congratulate him, I said, "I'm so happy you get to rest now, but I'm also sad that this chapter is closing."
How did he respond?
He said, "I feel exactly the same way." And in that moment, we connected on such a deep level because we were both honest about the complexity. We weren't trying to force ourselves to feel just one simple emotion.
That's beautiful. That's what emotional language gives you, the ability to see and be seen in all your complexity.
And when you express mixed feelings in English, you actually sound more fluent, not less, because that's how native speakers talk about their emotional lives. All right, let's get practical. How do you actually get better at expressing feelings in English?
Here's the secret. You have to practice alone before you can do it with others.
Self-talk. It sounds silly, but it's life-changing. It's like rehearsing for a play, except the play is your real life.
Every morning I do this thing where I check in with myself. Out loud, in English, I say, "How do I feel right now?"
And then you answer honestly, not what you think you should feel, what you actually feel.
Exactly. I feel rested. I feel anxious about my meeting today. I feel grateful for my coffee. Sometimes it's one emotion, sometimes it's three.
This does two things. First, it builds your vocabulary naturally because you're using words in real emotional context. You're not memorizing lists, you're living the language.
Second, it trains your brain to recognize and name emotions quickly. It builds emotional awareness. Many people don't even know what they're feeling until they stop and check in with themselves.
Try this right now.
Wherever you are, your room, the bus, walking down the street, ask yourself, what am I feeling?
Don't overthink it. First word that comes to mind. There's no wrong answer.
Now, describe where you feel it in your body. I feel tired and my eyes are heavy.
Now add why. I feel tired because I stayed up too late watching videos.
Congratulations! You just expressed a complete emotional experience in English. That's a full emotional check-in in 3 simple sentences.
And the more you do this, the easier it becomes in real conversations. Your brain starts automatically reaching for these words and phrases when you need them.
It becomes second nature, as natural as breathing. And suddenly, you're not translating from your native language anymore. You're feeling and expressing in English simultaneously. Let's talk about asking others about their feelings. This is where many English learners freeze up.
Because how are you feels fake, but anything deeper feels too personal.
Here's the middle ground: genuine curiosity with specific questions.
Instead of, how are you? Try, how was your day? Or, how are you feeling about tomorrow?
Those small changes invite real answers. They show you actually care about the response.
Or you can share first. I'm feeling overwhelmed today. How about you? When you're vulnerable first, you set the tone for honest conversation.
When you're vulnerable first, others feel safe being vulnerable too. You're basically giving them permission to be real.
I started doing this with my team at work. Instead of, how's everyone doing? I say, quick check-in, what's your energy level today? High, medium, or low?
That's brilliant. It's specific, it's easy to answer, and it's honest.
People actually answer honestly. And when someone says low, we can adjust expectations or offer support. Instead of everyone pretending to be fine, we actually help each other.
Communication becomes real instead of performative. You're building a culture of honesty.
And you know what the amazing thing is? People start trusting you more because you're creating space for honesty. They know they can come to you with problems because you've shown you care about the real answer, not just the polite one.
This works in friendships, relationships, families, everywhere. Specific questions that show you care. How are you feeling about your mom's surgery? What's your stress level about the exam? How's your heart after the breakup? Before we wrap up, I want to talk about the emotions that English speakers don't express enough.
Gratitude, appreciation, pride in others.
Yes, we're so quick to complain or criticize, but when was the last time you told someone, I'm grateful for you?
That's powerful. Just those 4 words can change someone's entire day, maybe even their entire week.
I'm proud of you. I appreciate what you did. You made me smile. I'm thankful you're in my life.
These sentences take 5 seconds to say and stay with people forever. I still remember specific times people said they were proud of me, and some of those moments were years ago.
I challenge everyone listening. Today, express one positive emotion to one person. Text a friend. Call your mom. Tell a coworker. Message someone you haven't talked to in a while.
In English, if you can, but even in your native language. Just practice expressing the good feelings. Get comfortable with positive vulnerability.
Because here's the truth. We spend so much time talking about negative emotions that we forget to celebrate the positive ones. We think gratitude and pride are
obvious, so we don't need to say them out loud.
But they're not obvious. People need to hear it. Everyone is walking around wondering if they matter, if they're doing okay, if anyone notices their efforts.
And positive emotions shared become stronger. Joy multiplies when you express it. Gratitude grows when you voice it. Love deepens when you speak it.
So don't wait for the perfect moment or the perfect words. Say it now. Say it simply. Thank you for being you. That's enough.
So, John, we've covered a lot today. How are you feeling right now?
You're putting me on the spot. Honestly, I feel energized. These conversations always remind me why we do this. They remind me that language isn't just about communication, it's about connection.
I feel the same way. And I feel hopeful that someone listening is going to try expressing their feelings in English today, maybe for the first time.
And it's not going to be perfect. You're going to stumble over words. You might use the wrong tense or forget vocabulary. Your pronunciation might not be crystal clear.
But you're going to connect. You're going to be seen. You're going to be human. And that's worth more than perfect grammar.
And that's what language is for. Not perfection, connection, building bridges between hearts.
Before we go, our question for you. What's one emotion you've been hiding lately? Drop it in the comments. You don't have to explain it. Just name it.
I feel, and then finish that sentence. We'll read every single one, and we'll respond. This isn't just a comment section, it's a safe space for honest feelings.
Because you're not alone in what you're feeling. Someone else in this community feels it too. And when you share, you give them permission to share.
If this episode resonated with you, subscribe to English Speaking Nerds. Hit that notification bell. Share this with someone who needs to hear it. A friend learning English, someone struggling to express themselves, anyone who needs to know their feelings matter.
And remember, your English doesn't have to be perfect for your feelings to be valid. Your emotions matter whether you express them with a PhD level vocabulary or with 3 simple words.
Say what you feel what you say. That's the only grammar rule that truly matters.
We'll see you next time. And until then, be kind to yourself. Your feelings are valid. Your voice matters.
Until then, keep it real. Keep practicing. Keep growing.
Stay nerdy, everyone.